do you write women so well?
I think of a man, and I take away reason and accountability.
Ooh, I swear that clip never gets old. Take away reason and accountability. Tell me we are not seeing that right now in today's age. But check it out. Welcome back to the channel. Yeah, you saw the title. You know what we're talking about. Talking about Hoeflation. Yeah, this is going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one. Hey, by the way, don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. Also, I have my Amazon affiliate links down there where you can pick up, some gear, watches, what else I have down there? Like the self-help books for dating advice, all that type of information. Check it out. I'm not going to hold y'all up. Let's get right into it. This first video. See, this is what happens when you take away reason and accountability. Miss Brittany Renner, start us off.
There was a video that I did in my car where I was talking about how I had sex with, was it 3 men in a day? Yes. And then I ended up getting a yeast infection. Yes. I came out pretty unscathed for just a yeast infection. Right. Considering what.
Wait, what? Really? You came out unscathed with just a yeast infection? Carry on.
Considering what I could have gotten.
Right. But did you think
So I think about the ramifications of telling people that I had sex with multiple men. Yes, I don't care. It's the truth. If you don't see me as a potential dating person, then great. One less heart to break. Leave me alone, and I'm gonna continue to live my truth.
But you do understand, Brittany, that's hard for a man. Look, like you said, public versus private. Now, if you and I having a conversation, and you're sitting here, we have a conversation, and you say, well, Shannon, I slept with this many men. Okay, that's one thing. That's between you and I. But to have that conversation, and then everybody, Sam, John, and everybody else knows it, that's a whole different ball game, Brittany.
Shannon didn't even know how to talk right then. He's like, that's a whole different. My bad. Let's get back to it.
That's fine with me. I mean, I feel that.
But see, that's selfish because all you're thinking about is you. What about him? He has got to be with you.
He has got to be with me?
You know what I'm saying?
He has the privilege to be with me.
Okay.
See, that's what I'm talking about there. Right there. That right there. He has the privilege to be with me. So it's a privilege to be with community property. That's like saying it's a privilege to have this 1984 Toyota Corolla with 300,000 miles on it. It's a privilege. Man, that's what happens when you take out reason and accountability. Reason being the logic. The logic. Not even thinking logical. Like, it's a privilege to be with my used up ass. Like Kevin would say, can't make this shit up. Just let a person talk long enough. They'll tell you everything you need to know about them. And you know what? Ms. Candace Owens, she does a great job of talking to these hoes about the Hoeflation in his next video. Let's get it.
Like, so think about your grandparents' inflation. She's like,
that's a thing.
Actually hilarious, which he's saying that men used to have to do a lot less and get a very high value woman. He's like, so think about your grandparents and your grandmother. She was a high value woman. She raised the kids. She was conservative. She was beautiful, all of these things. And now we live in this moment where everyone's kind of a hoe and you have to work harder to get a woman that doesn't have any self-respect or any value. And we live in Hoeflation now where everybody in their own capacity is selling their bodies. And unfortunately, these are the options that men have. It's stunning to me that women talk about what men need to be and what men need to be, but I think just kind of the complete disintegration of when I look at what my grandmother looked like in pictures. She passed in 2013, and just how classy and how beautiful and how much I wanted to be like her. And now I look at women today, and I just think, man, I feel bad for guys.
Don't worry, Candace. I feel bad for guys too. That's why I'm here, trying to do my 2 cents. Throw in my opinions and some of my life experiences. Hopefully it helps somebody out. I don't know who the president of the Hoe-federation is, but the Hoeflation is too high. It's too expensive. Like she was saying, you know, you think about what your grandmothers did, stuff like that. Not that they can think that far back. Okay, that was a dig, but whatever. They really act like they can't. I mean, they're not using accountability towards anything. It's like, I do what I want. It's like Brittany was saying, I do what I want. I don't care, blah, blah. It's still a privilege to be with me. No, it's not. It's not. It's no longer a privilege to be with you. At that point, it's become community ass. So is this whose ever turn is next? That's what guys are fighting for at this point, is whose turn is next to essentially sleep with you. That's it. It is nothing more. There's nothing less. That's what they're fighting over now. Who's going to hit it next? Not who's going to be with you and who's going to marry you. Come on. That's an embarrassment to most men. And so these women here, back in the day, the women knew what their roles were in the relationship. Ask a woman today, what is her role in the relationship? She knows everything that man is supposed to do. Everything. Details and all. Ask her role. See what type of answers you get.
All right, what do you ladies think a woman role is in a relationship? Let's go through that and then y'all could split the question.
Support.
I don't know. I feel
Moral. Emotional.
See what I mean? Old girl was like, I don't know. And the older one said emotional, which means she still doesn't know. But you see what I mean? They don't know their roles. Let's get to the next video.
when be focused, keep your money at this point. My mental health since I've started this has just slowly been on such a decline. I feel a little bit dead inside. I feel completely desensitized. Not to sound funny, but I really don't feel any type of desire or attraction to men in general anymore. Just know that if you are a person who's ever been interested in doing this, there really are so many downsides. At this point, and I'm willing to admit this now, there's no amount of money that you can give me right now to make me feel giving myself away in certain aspects, even if they're just a few photos or whatever online. It almost isn't worth it anymore. And while I did have such a strong start and it was so much fun in the beginning, after getting burnt out, I started to just feel really differently about the types of messages that I was getting. Seriously, if I had any type of ability to share the things that people have said, just how disgusting they are. And also when I get curious and nosy, sometimes I'll go look at their profile and they have a whole girlfriend or a whole wife, and sometimes even disgustingly enough they have kids. It makes me feel so conflicted with doing this. When I really sit down to think about what the purpose of all this is, it's really just to visually please a bunch of men. I've been sort of exploring the idea of maybe just having my content be focused on, things that I'm actually interested in, which ultimately is not pleasing men in any way, shape, or form. Y'all can keep your money at this point.
Now this lady right here, I almost didn't even include this shit because it wasn't necessary. I'll break that down real fast for you. There was one particular guy and she was trying to get his attention. And after she found out, he didn't want her like that, or maybe she found out he has a girl, he has kids, this, that, and the third. Now OnlyFans is so disgusting. I don't want to please men, blah, blah, because you got your feelings hurt. Because the dude you wanted, he didn't want your ass. Why? Especially because you're on OnlyFans. That's the main reason why. So he didn't want you. Maybe he wasn't interested in you to begin with, but that was definitely the wrong way to go about it. So now she's just I don't care about the money. You really don't care about the money? Give all that money back. Otherwise, shut your ass up. You're not going to do that. You're not going to do that. But again, this is not using any type of reason or logic. And it sure as hell ain't no accountability. So in this next clip, what I'm going to show you is how women come down to, men and women actually, but a lot of stuff comes down to just nature. Women are drawn to bigger, taller, stronger guys. They're just drawn to that, but that's just that basic human nature. Just like men love voluptuous women, is because it looks like childbirth, or she can definitely have children. It's a reason we're all attracted to certain things. So women can talk about all this stuff, what they like and what they want and what he has to have and this, that, and the third. But this security guard is going to prove otherwise. See what I mean? So when it comes down to it, I'ma just be honest. A lot of these women are full of shit when they're talking about man needs to have 6 figures this and the 6 feet in height. I gotta be honest. In some ways it plays into your favor. But that doesn't mean every woman is gonna like you. That's not what that means. But as far as the money and stuff like that, do you think any of those women cared about how much that security guard made? There's a security guard in a bar. It didn't look like some hot nightclub where he may make, I don't know, hundreds of dollars that night. Looked like he was on an hourly duty type job. So when it comes down to it, do they really care about money? No, maybe to an extent. But it's the reason the Pookies and Ray Rays, they can get that ass anytime they want to. Because they appeal to these women in a very physical way. I'll put it like that. It's in a very physical way. They know how to talk to these women. They know how to tell them what they're going to do and what they're not going to do with them. And a lot of times you have to be like that. I used to say when I was being a nice guy when I was dating, I get walked all over. As soon as I turn into the asshole and I tell you what the fuck, excuse me, what you're going to do and what you're not going to do around me, I would get a lot further. I get so much further, but that's also being a leader. And you have to think about it in terms of like at work also. The management or the owner, they're going to tell you, these are our rules, these are our guidelines. You step outside of them, your ass is gone. Well, women respond to that all day long, the ones at work. So they understand that. They understand that logic, that you're not playing with them. And I'm serious about what it is I want in my life. And this is how things are going to go. So as men, you do need to remember some of this information, and also remember to look out for red flags where you have somebody bucking, talking back, telling you this, that, and the third, what they gonna do, what they're not gonna do. You have to hear all that shit. And then you have to make a solid decision. Yeah, you might look fine as hell. I have a nice ass on you. I really want to hit that, but I'm not dealing with all this extra shit. All that's not going to happen. I'll replace your ass before I keep dealing with your ass. And you'd be surprised how much further you get with that. Not telling you go around talking to people any old kind of way, but you have to let people know who you are and where you stand. So that's all I have for you guys today, but check it out. Like I said, don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. I have my Amazon links down in the description. Pick up some gear, pick up some watches on there. Hey, you got Rolexes on and my Amazon links. Not that you got to spend that type of money. I'm just saying it's there though. It's there. If you balling like that, ball out. Please do. Please do. I'll appreciate it. But check it out. That's all I got for y'all today. Thank you for watching. And until next time, I get at y'all.